lost 40% of their market because people aren't driving automobiles. They're not doing anything. So all of a sudden, they're not flying in airplanes.
We had sunny skies until a half hour ago. Why, looky there at that there pretty old white streak in the sky. What could make it? I wonder why. Could it be that jet plane in the sky? That is quite an incline for a jet that's supposed to be a passenger jet. And it's moving incredibly fast. That jet is moving so fast that the sound is way, way behind it. West, east, and under 1 minute. They're right underneath. Another one. Not even 5 minutes ago, the big, broad one. See the big puffy stuff? And those little white streaks. Don't tell me they're not spraying something up there. See how that's breaking up? There were those little white streaks in there. I call them streamers, or strings. They're breaking differently than the big white puffy stuff. It's exhaust. Why doesn't it all break up at the same rate? Good question. And the forecast calls for rain. Sad. Nobody's flying. And I predicted that yesterday. When I said that the forecast calls for rain, well, now it's a day later and the forecast does call for rain. In fact, it's calling for rain for the next 3 days. We have storm clouds and rain to the north. Somebody had accused me of making that video about the low water levels, the low sea levels, when the tide was out. So I'm going to show to you here that that is not the case. Right now the tide is actually out, and there's not much fluctuation here when the tide goes out, when the tide is in. See right there, that white line? That's where the salt level is. That's where the water level normally is. Now, hopefully you can see here, it's kind of a brownish orange layer there. That's where the low tide would normally be. When the tide is in, this is underwater. And the tops of the stones here, that's where the water crashes over and makes the white waves that you're seeing over there. 10 days ago, this was all dry, and it's never dry. The sea levels were so low that all of this up here was dry. I've never seen it like that before.
But wait a minute, wasn't global warming supposed to raise sea levels?
So I asked some of the local people about this, if they had ever seen the water level so low. Like I said, no, never. Could it have been, that the tide was out? And they said, no. 2 weeks ago, the tide was in. Orange, yellow layer there, that is lichen. And lichen likes to grow close to the water level because when the water level comes up, fresh and replenish the lichen. So you can see here where the water level should be when it's high. That's a good 1.5 meters up, about 4 feet.
But Daddy, isn't the seas going to rise?
Well, that's what the experts say here at NASA.
Right below that, we have a black level. That's because of thousands and thousands of years of sea level here. And then right below that, we have the salt level. That's where...
Whoa, hold on, Q&R. National Geographic says that sea levels around the world are rising, causing dangerous flooding. How can this be? You're saying that the sea levels are going down?
The sea level would be when the tide is out. And then below that, we have this orangish brown color, which is always underwater. This right here, you can see the white, that's the salt and minerals that have already dried out. And then here we have salt and minerals that are beginning to dry out. Are normally completely underwater. The only thing that is above the water is the tips here. See, again, we have the lichen, which is right on top, and it likes to be very close. It's a lichen to be close to where the water is.
A terrifying sea level prediction now far less likely. Yay!